Boo. Hey, everyone. Let's see, in the chat room we got Brandon, Michael, Steven, other Michael, Linda. How is it? Don, how are you? Don, the Sausage King of, I don't know, Don. I don't know where you live. So how's everybody doing? I'm tired of being in the house. I want to go to Disney, but Florida might not be letting that happen. So my guest today is Clint Gamache, who, I don't know if anybody's with me. When you hear Gamache, does anybody else think of something delicious and chocolatey, like ganache? Because I do. So Clint Gamache is from ThrillGeek. He's a fun guy. He's actually a dad, 3 kids. I don't see it. Usually when you have 3 kids, like the fun stops, but not for him. So I guess the kids are having a good time. Let's see. Hi from Michigan. Yeah, okay, good. Deborah, thank you. Deborah thinks of the ganache. I agree. I'm going to show you a little channel trailer from his channel. Just gives you an idea of his style a little bit. He's got a partner there, Barry. When I say partner, he's got a wife, 3 kids at home. His partner, Barry, in ThrillGeek. Let's go watch this real quick, and then we'll have him on. We'll talk. We're going to have a chat. Hi from Connecticut. Yo, John from Connecticut. How are you, man? David Picciano from Now That's Disney. So, ThrillGeek.
Welcome to the ThrillGeek YouTube channel. We're here at the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, and here at ThrillGeek we combine our passions for pop culture and theme parks and bring it to you. Seeing this video, you're probably not subscribed to our YouTube channel. So be sure right now to hit that subscribe button. Enjoy all of our videos and all the videos to come, and we'll see you guys in the park.
Hey, Clint. So I usually see Clint when I'm at a media event at Disney. So ThrillGeek is doing pretty good. Do you remember like your first media event, Clint? Clint, what happened to your sound? We had great sound before, and now I can't hear you.
I'm here.
Oh, there you are.
There we are. Sorry about that.
That's all right. Do you remember your first media event?
I want to say our first media event for ThrillGeek was probably, I want to say something to do with Legoland. And
okay.
It was either Legoland or SeaWorld when we first started kind of getting into getting invited to things, and I couldn't put my finger on exactly what it was, but it was either SeaWorld or Legoland.
And do you remember the first one for Disney?
Oh gosh, first media event for Disney was...
Because mine was Avatar.
It wasn't Avatar for me. We started kind of getting invited to the influencer things at first.
Yeah, same thing. Yeah.
And then I want to say, oh gosh, I can't remember. Our first big media event was Galaxy's Edge opening. I can say that much.
Okay, I remember seeing you there.
Here,
you were working it pretty good.
Oh gosh,
hold on, my friend Robe. What is he saying? ThrillGeek. I was way off. It says it in the YouTube title. What did you think ThrillGeek was? You're not really geeky though. I guess he could be geeky. I guess with the Halloween shirt, I haven't found him to be geeky, but still ThrillGeek.
It was kind of it was kind of a play on, I wanted something that was, it's funny, long story short, Barry, that you guys saw in the video that actually helps me out a ton with the website, he actually wanted the name ThrillGeek because he wanted something that was kind of pop. He was going to start a podcast, and he wanted something pop culture-ish and something theme park-ish because he wanted to kind of talk about both. So how Barry and I met was he emailed me, or he messaged me on Twitter, and he was like, hey, you want to meet up at HHN? And it just kind of went from there. And
I like the name. Did you have another name in mind before ThrillGeek?
I had a little YouTube thing. It was called East Coast Thrill Seekers back in the day, but it wasn't anything major. When I came up,
you were still there. Thrill
Yeah.
Seekers.
Yeah.
Wait, didn't Thrill Seekers become a Disney comic book, or was that Seekers of the Weird? I don't know. I'm wrong.
I don't know. I couldn't tell you.
There's a Disney comic book on the Marvel thing, Seekers something.
That's kind of how ThrillGeek came to, how Barry and I kind of came to fruition of, being partners and kind of doing this thing. So, yeah.
Okay, people like the name. It really does remind me of Disney Nerds a little bit, just because even though it's a completely different name, it's same type of, geeks that like thrills, and I like that.
And I'm into all the theme parks, not just Disney. As you got, if you follow us on any of our stuff, we cover Six Flags, Universal.
Do you do a lot of Six Flags?
Not as much as I would like to, because they, a lot of the Six Flags parks have some really great coasters. But obviously, the closest Six Flags park to us is Six Flags over Georgia. There were some crazy rumors a while back that we were actually going to get a Six Flags here in Florida.
I remember that. It comes out every couple of years. We'll probably see it as a rumor next year.
Yeah, it was going to be called Six Flags Space Coast, and it was going to be over like on the East Coast, and it was all these crazy rumors. So
if SeaWorld doesn't make it, I wouldn't be surprised if it became a Six Flags.
That's always come up as a thing. If obviously Universal would be probably first in line to buy that property, but Six Flags is another. With all these new coasters they're adding, it'd be perfect for Six Flags.
Have you been on King Dakar?
I have not been on King Dakar, but I've been on its smaller brother. I actually worked on it, Top Thrill Dragster at Cedar Point.
Really?
Back at, yeah. So it's nuts. 0 to 120 in 3-4 seconds.
Yep. I grew up in Long Island, and Kim and David from Now That's Disney are from New Jersey. So from Long Island, we would travel an hour and a half over the Verrazano Narrows Bridge, and we'd go to, Kim, give me where it is in Jersey. I forget. But we'd go to, I'd spend the whole day.
Adventure.
Six Flags Great Adventure, but I forgot the name. There's like a town that it's in. I forget that.
Oh gosh,
the town. But in any event, it was really cool. Yeah. I used to love it. But also when I was a kid, that's where they had the fire at the Haunted Mansion, and we had to watch just all the kids from school in the area and stuff. That a lot of people died in that fire.
I remember that vaguely.
Do you really? It would be like, I think it's before your time, or maybe right. You'd be a baby. I'd be a little older.
There were I had a lot of theme park books, kind of history books back in the day, and one of them mentioned that.
If you ever watch the story on it, it was built with a bunch of little trailers all connected to each other. It was a horrible, experiment. It looked very temporary, and once it went on fire, it was just a horrible thing. In any event, not to bring the room down with the fires in the Haunted Mansion. Let's bring the room down further with how you doing with the COVID. I mean, I know you don't have it.
No.
I mean, our numbers and stuff, are they scaring you? Are you pro-mask? Are you anti-mask? Give me the...
I'm all for masks. Barry and I discussed this on the podcast. If you're going to go to the parks, if you're going to go to Universal, just wear a mask. It's really it's an easy process. Yeah, it sucks wearing it in this heat. I'm not going to lie.
I agree.
But, they do have the break areas where you can take a break and take your mask off. And, it's been crazy with 3 kids. How
old are your kids?
They are, I'm going to take this slow so I get it right. They are 3.
Approximate. 3?
Approximately, yeah. 3, 5, and 9.
Wow.
They all have birthdays coming up still. So, it's a lot.
Are the birthdays all around the same time?
The younger 2, the 3 and the 5-year-old, they're closer. My oldest 9, his is actually, it's still June, right? Yeah. His birthday's coming up at the end of July, so he'll be 10 at the end of July. And then the other 2 birthdays are in September and October. So.
All right, cool. But with the two younger ones, I'm assuming it's harder to get them to keep a mask on.
You know, I was actually really surprised. We actually just did a staycation at in the summer for Father's Day. And
Nice.
obviously the kids have to wear their masks. They're all, I think the age requirement is what, 3? Over 3 they have to wear a
think it's
mask,
over
I
3,
believe.
yeah.
So, you know, us being, you know, law-abiding parents and not wanting to, you know, cause a ruckus or anything, we put masks on all 3 of the kids, and they were actually surprisingly really well with it. Yeah, they're kids. They touch it, you know, and they're going to mess with it. But I was pleasantly surprised as a dad at
Did you
how well
motivate
they
them
did.
or threaten them? You're not going to get a
No.
toy. You're not going to get They
No.
just did it. Okay.
The wife put them on them, and they were so good. I was so proud of them. We got back up to our room, and you know, given my wife doesn't have adult size or kid size masks yet. They were adult size, so it was like taking up their whole face. But they did surprisingly well. I was pretty proud as a dad.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
The Disney ones I hear don't really fit adults very well. Like
I've seen
ones
pictures of adults with them, and they look
and their
really
ears are
small.
all. Everybody's ear is just pulled back.
Yeah, yeah.
So
I have a collection over here on my wall already of masks. It's kind of ridiculous.
I went to Universal the first day of the annual pass holder thing, and I thought there was too many people. But then after that, it became empty. How was your experience? When did you go, and what was your experience like?
I don't believe I went on opening day. I think I went a few days after to the parks. I was there on opening day for City Walk, which was, you know, enjoyable. But I think I went that weekend out to the parks, and I was pleasantly surprised at how I've said this on Twitter and everything, at how safe and how clean I felt in the parks versus going like just to my grocery store. Like today, I went to Target, and the amount of people not wearing masks compared to, you know, yeah, we see it on Twitter and, you know, the social media channels of people not wearing their masks at the theme parks. But I can say, without a doubt, I've seen, at least when you look at it as a group, you know, when your eye kind of scans the area, I can see more people with masks at a theme park than I can, say, my local Walmart or Target or whatever.
I just got back from Publix, and I would say it's 50-50. And
Yeah.
the thing that boggles me is, in March, when it wasn't so much of a threat, we were like crazy, everybody, with
Yep.
staying home, not going out. Even I like canceled people installing things in my house. And now that it's like 10 times worse, come on, install things. Just keep your man. Like we just seem to we kind of gave up a little bit as a
Yeah, I think everybody
society.
just became lazy and just got tired of it. You know, us Americans, we're stubborn.
we really are.
We're ignorant.
I've watched
and
some
it's just
videos.
become... Go ahead.
I've watched some videos where the people are like, "You have to see these Americans and how they are so entitled. Look," and I'm watching, going, "He's right. He's absolutely right."
You're not wrong. But no, you know, I'm still wearing the masks, you know, and even when I go to the parks, when I go to the grocery store, you know, I keep one in my car. You know, I keep them at the ready. But yeah, no, I feel pretty safe going to the theme park. So my trip to Universal, you know, I was pretty impressed. My initial first impressions at the end of the day, there was hand sanitizer everywhere, and they were. One thing that I noticed that was really interesting was they were before the parks opened. A lot of people were like, "Oh, how are they going to sanitize the ride vehicles? Are they gonna wipe them down, or you know, how's that going to happen?" But one thing I noticed with Universal is they're just waiting there with a hand sanitizer pump, and they're giving you a little squirt of hand sanitizer before you get on the ride, which makes sense because you know if you're going to sanitize and you're going to touch the ride vehicle, you know.
100%. The day I went, because I went so early, I caught them. The problems weren't so much with Universal, was more with the people. Universal, though, I didn't find any of the hand sanitizing stations had nothing in it. They still didn't have a system down, so I probably shouldn't have judged them on that.
Yeah.
Did you get to see this Born Spectacular? It's not Born Supremacy Spectacular, right?
The Born Stuntacular.
The Born Stuntacular, thank you.
Yeah.
I did see a video on it, even though they're not supposed to take video, and I was like, whoa.
It's impressive.
Was it
Yeah.
impressive to you?
Yeah, Barry and I were there, a couple days into soft openings when they reopened the soft openings, and it was blazing hot that day. But we got in and we saw one of the technical rehearsals, and it's impressive with the giant LED. I'll keep it kind of spoiler free with the giant LED screen and the moving set pieces that move with that giant screen. And
I really did get fooled at least twice in what was part of the LED screen and what was physically there.
what was actually physically there, yeah.
Right, and they do switch it on you last minute so that you can get surprised. As a matter of fact, I have a video from your YouTube channel, from ThrillGeek, that you released. I'd like to play it. I want to set it up, guys. What you're going to see, this is the Bourne Stuntacular. Am I getting that right?
Yep.
And it is a new show where the 2D, 3D, Terminator 2 3D was, which I loved also. What you're gonna, these are LED screens with some physical sets, and again, you don't know what is. Yeah, I know. Brandon is asking me, is Bourne even still up? You know, I don't even. They could have called this our own stunt show. They didn't even need to tie it into Bourne, as far as I'm concerned. But it is about as current as Disney making a Tron roller coaster. So, what are you gonna do? But yeah, watch this little clip and tell me what you think. This is on stage. You can go see this live. I am really shocked by all of this. There are some really cool effects here. Watch. Only one person dies per performance, which really is a great thing to keep. You know, what I like is when the guy falls, and you know, we're not giving it away. I don't think one person is real falling in front of the hotel onto some mat that you don't see, which is perfect because you then think, oh, they can physically fall, and then something else happens in a film version right alongside it, and you're like, wow, hold on, what's going on? I like it. Yeah, I agree. Midway Mayhem, another person that we have to have on the show. Clint, you know this guy.
Yeah, Dan.
You know, Dan is great. Dan is an awesome guy, by the way.
He's a good guy, yeah.
But yeah, the clip does not do it justice. Yeah, Dan, if you ever want to go next month, I might meet you there and we'll go together.
Yeah, it's hard to get the scale of that show on camera because it's massive. The LED screen is bigger. To put it into perspective, the LED screen that they use in that is bigger than the one that's atop of the NBC Sports Grill and Brew.
Wow. And so much more detailed than that one.
Oh yeah, it's 1,000 times more detailed. But yeah, no, the show is really cool. The combination of the screen, that one fight scene you saw in the video of him kind of surrounded by a bunch of guys fight like a fist fight. Some actors come out and act like they're in the crowd that's on the screen. So you're like, is that person real? Is that person real? It's really cool. Universal really. Definitely up the stunt show bar with the Bourne Stuntacular.
I agree. Some people in the chat room are saying that I probably should go and work there and do some of the stunts. And I did. I auditioned. I'm just waiting for the call. So you'll see me there soon. Callback. Just waiting for the callback. I do want to do the one where they jump onto the guy and hang on. I can do it really well.
Oh, the thing that goes around up on the ceiling.
Yeah. The audience is in no danger if I'm doing it. Yeah, no danger. It's too funny. So, yeah, I was impressed. What I really am impressed with is if you've ever seen the Terminator there, I didn't realize that they even had a basement, let alone what can go on under there. I mean, that's I thought you'd have to outfit a whole new building to do what they did.
I think, because obviously a lot of people, when something old closes and something new opens, obviously you get a lot of comparison between the two. And I try not to do that. Yeah. I try to view each thing as its own. But if I had to do one thing, it would be the finale on Terminator 2 3D was far better than the finale. The finale on Bourne was a little lackluster.
Is it because they've already gave you so much that there's no way to up that bar more for the finale? Like if you just saw the finale.
I don't know what it is, but I mean, you remember the finale in Terminator 2
I agree,
3D,
the finale in Terminator 3,
wall of fog came up and like enveloped you, and it was just insane. The Bourne Stuntacular just kind of you saw the end in that clip with the Bourne Stuntacular on the wall, and they're kind of the backs are turned to you, and that's it. That's the end.
I think they gave you everything in their arsenal, and they had nothing. They didn't save anything over.
Yeah, it could be that. But it's fantastic. It's definitely worth your time if you're going to Universal, even if you're not a fan of the Bourne movies, which a lot like you said, like the person said in the comments, a lot of people don't know who Jason Bourne is. But
you could have just called this anybody's Stuntacular, and I would have been fine with it. Yeah.
Well, they do a really good job in the pre-show of getting you caught up to date with with the storyline. I mean, it's a really good pre-show video. So even if you don't know what's going on, the pre-show video gets you caught up like that pretty quick. So you're set to go.
Awesome. Did your kids, when they went, did your kids go with you to this?
No.
Okay, because I'm curious how the little ones probably. I don't know if they would have sat through. The 10-year-old maybe.
Oh, he would have loved it. Yeah, my oldest, he is me 2.0. Are you kidding me? He's counting the days. He's like 3/4 of an inch from being able to ride, the Makos and the Krakens and the B&M, the big coasters.
That's pretty cool.
So every time we go to SeaWorld or some place that has a B&M coaster that's 54 inches, he's like, I'm this close.
Does he fit? I'm going to ask, does he fit on Splash Mountain?
Like, as far as like...
He's tall enough for it.
Yeah. No, he's been on Splash. Yeah.
Have the little ones been on it?
He has. My middle one, Connor, he's the scaredy cat of the group. I don't think he's going to be the tricky one to, like, him and Jordan, my oldest, they're like opposites of each other. Like I said, the oldest Jordan, he's me. He loves the roller coasters, the thrill rides. Connor, my middle one, he's like, I don't want anything to do with that. But my oldest Jordan, he has been on Splash Mountain.
Let me ask you, with all that's going on with it, do the kids ask about the characters and stuff at all? Do they know anything about it?
They don't know who Brer Fox or Brer Bear or any of those characters are. No, they don't. They have no idea who those characters are. Are they having fun on the ride? Sure, they're having a blast.
We all love it. Yeah.
Yeah. But they don't. They have no clue, nor do I think they care who Brer Fox, Brer Bear, et cetera, are.
Yeah. Regardless of all the controversy, and I've spoken about it, I think you might have also.
Yeah.
It is in need of some sort of a refreshment for today's kids. They don't know who it is, And I think in order to explain it to them, again, is a challenge and is a stain that Disney needs to avoid.
Yeah.
But, if they asked you, would you find it a little odd to, I got to go try to explain why it's changing and stuff? It's kind of better that they just wash it away, I think.
Yeah, I think it's something that, I mean, obviously as a parent, if my kid had questions, I would do my best to answer them appropriately. Because, that's my job as a parent, is to, answer my kids' questions and concerns. And, it hasn't come up, and my 9-year-old, he's very curious. And when I showed him the announcement on my phone, I came home, I said, "Hey, Jordan, look, they're redoing the Splash Mountain over to Princess and the Frog."
What was his reaction?
He was like, "Oh, that's cool." He's like, "I love that movie," and
I know, and that's a 9-year-old boy saying that. So, yeah.
So it's, I mean, I get both sides of the stories. Yes, Splash Mountain's nostalgia, but like you said,
somebody asked this question: how do you explain the Haunted Mansion to kids? You're not kidding. But listen to this quickly. At 12 years old, I was 19. I had a 12-year-old Make-A-Wish child that was my nephew, Matthew, and I got scared because he wanted to go on the Haunted Mansion, and I knew that he was probably going to pass away soon. Like, this was the thing. Sorry to make the room heavy.
Yeah.
But I got nervous thinking, we're going to go through a graveyard and I got to come up with answers. Never came up, and I was so happy. I was like, he loved it. Thought it was great. I'm like,
loved it?
Loved it.
Good.
He passed
That's
about
awesome.
3 days after we got home from
wow.
Disney. So Give Kids the World is big to my heart. I hope they make it. Speaking of which, did you see Cirque du Soleil now? Bankruptcy?
Yeah. Yep, and it's kind of trickled down. I mean, obviously, it affects Blue Man Group, and, they had the Drawn to Life thing, which we got the preview of at the media event, which I was
Wasn't that
my God.
The desk that got up and walked away?
Yeah.
The big, huge animator's
horse
desk.
deck. It was
I have to believe that they're going to somehow save that. Maybe it'll be delayed.
It's
got to be.
Yeah, because that thing was ready to go. They were literally they were doing they were ready to do previews, weren't they?
Yeah, I think July it was. I think next month it would have went into regular tickets.
Yeah, but I was, we got out of that little media preview that we got, and I was the whole aerial act with the giant pencil and everything, and I was, and my wife, she's huge into animation, so I was like, you're absolutely gonna love this show. Hopefully, it's a tough situation right now with all the theater stuff. Broadway, what they announced that they're not opening up until next year,
and AMC delayed too. Weren't they just going to reopen?
I think so. I saw something on Twitter about it.
AMC
pushed
August
back
now. Yeah.
Yeah. And like we were talking about, the new Halloween movie coming out in October. It's like, who knows?
Do your kids like Haunted Mansion?
They've all been on it. That's one ride. Who are you talking to, John? Who are you talking to?
Well, I don't know if you force them.
I will drag my kids on a Haunted Mansion.
Do they say, "Dad, please not again," or are they fine with it now?
No, they love it.
Okay, good.
Again, I think Connor, my middle one, I think he was a little nervous, but he was fine on it. He'll go on it and he'll look at this stuff. They
All right,
enjoy
so
it.
are they all have your DNA a little bit? I'm guessing. What about the dinosaur? When you go see the raptor, are the kids for it or they're scared of it?
I actually I have a
Did
video.
not take them.
I have a video. No, I have a video on our YouTube channel of all 5 of us. I think it was back in December. It was at the temporary one. All of us visiting it. And once again, I think Connor, he was a little like, I'm not too sure. Even my little girl, Charlotte, she was like, but Jordan, my oldest, he was the funniest one because Blue came over his shoulder, and when they do the whole when Blue goes crazy and goes brah and all that stuff, it was his reaction that was the funniest. You'd have to go watch the video.
All right, I'm going to show the clip of you, and I could tell you really weren't too scared. You might have gotten slightly like, okay, let me move, but I could tell it was total baloney. But let me show people what we're talking about and come back to it, because I want to know if you had to tell your daughter, this is fake, or if you think she just knows. Let me show this little. There's only a quick, small clip here, but it's a lot of fun.
And
Hello
Hi,
there.
Sierra. How you guys doing?
I'm doing great.
Jeez.
This is Sierra.
6 months old, you said?
Good, 6 months old. That's exactly right.
Cute.
She's real excited to meet everybody.
She is cute.
There we go. All right, calm down. How you doing, sir?
Good.
Doing great. If you want, you can set the tripod down over there to set your shot up. Good. You're doing great. What you're going to want to do, you're going to want to be on that blue line right there. And to get a selfie, you're going to want to hold that up nice and high so she can see it. No. Sir, do you have any food in that bag right there? Okay, she's really curious about it. You're just going to want to turn and tell her to leave it, sir. Okay, no. Good job. Thank you so much. Hey, calm down. Those drinks right over there. Thank you so much.
That figure looks incredible.
Yeah, they did. I mean, not to ruin the magic, but when they redid the Raptor from the old one to the new one that looks like blue, it was a night. It looks so good now. It's yeah.
All right, so do you tell the kids, hey, it's fake, don't worry, or do you just assume they know? Because kids, it's a hard thing to separate.
With the magic in general, whether it's Disney or Universal, the wife would literally kill me if I told them like Mickey Mouse, or
Oh,
any of
I
the
got it.
characters
Okay, good. I like your
weren't
wife.
real, so
Mucho respect for
yeah.
wife.
I have to tread very lightly, because if it were me, I'd be like, it's just some guy in a costume. It's fake. Don't worry about it.
I agree.
But the
Kim,
wife
Colton,
would. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, Kim's son is Colton. She's saying he'd love it, and I would have thought
It's so
if she
cool.
asked me that he would not. Because
The Raptor encounter is really cool at Universal. Sometimes the wait can get a little long for it. In my opinion, it's
because
definitely
they're given a good amount of time to the people.
Yeah.
I think they should have a few zones with other blues set up. I don't know if I think there's one, right?
They just reopened the new one because they're redoing that whole area with the new Jurassic Park coaster and everything, and they just opened up that video is from the new permanent one, which is really nice.
But is it just one?
It's only one blue.
Yeah,
I do agree
yeah.
with you. Maybe they should do it
I mean,
indoors and have like
Other
Mickey
other colors maybe.
yeah,
Because there's only one blue.
Blue has her whole tribe of raptors, so maybe they could do. I don't know. Aren't they like? I can't think of their names, but
And
yeah,
a couple of cement walls and just give me
Yeah.
another little slot over here.
Yeah, because it's
'Cause
literally
that would-
one. It's one raptor, one family at a time, and everybody wants to get their selfie. And
Yeah, and they do. They don't rush it through. They do a good. They do a good job.
They give you
And
plenty
the
of time.
team member knows who's scared.
Yeah. Oh yeah. They totally play off of it. They especially the raptor. Blue herself. She'll really play off of it.
Yeah, Mary, you would like it. I think. I am scared, Alfred. I really was. I mean, listen. I know what it is, but for some reason, there's something there. I don't know.
Well, like we were saying, it's really realistic. If you're
And
a
the sound,
kid
the sound is great too.
Yeah, they have those
And-
big subwoofers with the raptor making its noises, and
There's something about turning your back to it also.
yeah,
Even though it's what it is. I don't want to just say it out loud in case there's kids.
yeah.
The Gottfried kids think it's real, I'm sure. Oh, it's funny. I just said it, and here's Megan Gottfried. Yeah, you forget Blue isn't real at the moment. Yeah, the Gottfried kids, don't tell them, Megan, that they're real, because I know they think it's
No,
real.
I do. Like in that video, I completely, as it is with any theme park, you're in the moment, you're having a moment with that character, whether it's Blue the dinosaur or Mickey Mouse or what have you. It's easy to forget what it actually is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
What are some of your favorite? Well, what are you thinking about the roller coaster that's being built at Universal? That
I can say from what I'm seeing, obviously this thing went up quick. As soon as they were done and all the tracks gone up, this will be, if not one of the best coasters in Orlando, from what I can see.
should I be expecting a story coaster like Hagrid's or less?
This is going to be from what I know, and this is going to be more roller coaster than Hagrid's. Whereas Hagrid's like a little roller coaster, stop, little scene plays out, a little more roller coaster. This is going to be like roller coaster, roller coaster, roller coaster, roller coaster, roller coaster, a little scene, roller coaster, roller coaster, roller coaster, roller coaster.
Okay.
If that makes
I do
sense.
hope we get an animatronic, blue or something.
I haven't. I've been trying to keep up on the rumors and the speculation, but I know allegedly the Velocicoaster name has gone around a lot. So apparently this thing is going to be themed after raptors somehow. So
All right.
maybe we're going to get some sort of interaction with raptors coming at you from every direction, or
It would be nice, like in the middle. Remember when he's got 3 of them and he's trying to, wrangle them together. It would
like
be nice if the 3
Hagrid
of
on the
them.
motorcycle with raptors.
That'd be pretty cool, actually.
But
Okay,
no,
speaking about speculation and rumors, let's go to Halloween Horror Nights. I know we have a lot of these people here are Disney people, but what do you think could happen? And hold on, I got a question for you from Brandon. Clint, what can you read it from there?
Yeah,
I don't know if you can. Okay.
Yeah. What are your opinions about the Tron coaster? Since apparently John doesn't think Tron is relevant.
I think the coaster is great. I think the movies are, they're done. There's no more Tron movies coming. It's relevant. It's relevant.
I'm a huge Tron fan. I love the movies. I love the original. I'm one of the very few that actually loved Tron Legacy. It does have a soft spot in my heart, but as John says, I believe the movies. There's been some push to get a Tron 3, but I don't see it happening. But as far as the coaster goes, the coaster has gotten really good reviews from Shanghai, which is basically what it is. It's copy and paste coming over here stateside. I'm excited for it because, like I said, I got a little Tron section over here on my wall. I got the Lego set Tron light cycles, and I have a few other little Tron things. It's going to be a blast. I mean, you're on a light cycle being blasted out at 60 miles an hour. I'm excited for the coaster.
I can't wait to go on the coaster. I've been making sure I'm eating a lot less so I can go on the coaster.
Yeah. Well, I've heard the big thing with that is your thighs.
Is it? Forget it. I'm dead.
It's hard,
In Shanghai, there is a big boy seat in the back, like a regular seat that's not a bike. Yeah.
Okay.
If you search it on Google, it's pretty cool. But I'd like to go on the.
That's interesting.
I'd like to go on the bike and do the whole
that's the experience. Yeah. So, but no, I'm excited for it. It's going to be a cool experience. Yeah. The I've heard the exciting part is the launch and then into that canopy type thing.
Yeah.
And the ride gets a little meh on the indoor part when you go back up into the building. But it's Tron. I'm excited.
I like when they do there's some effects they do to your vehicle on the wall. Looks pretty cool. So getting back to
it looks like you're dueling almost like other life cycles because it's a mirror. Yeah. That's
exactly.
really cool. Yeah.
So getting back to Halloween Horror Nights, which a lot of people here have not been to. You and I know we've been.
What are you people doing?
I know it is worth it. It is to me. I was reluctant for a lot of years, but it's a good adrenaline rush. Brandon, you've been to a Halloween Horror Nights, right? Do you think there will be a Halloween Horror Nights?
That is the question that Barry, myself, and Emily, everybody that helps out with the website has been asking, I think, to ourselves every single day.
I heard they really have to be a profitable year.
Oh, Halloween Horror Nights is the biggest money-making event for Universal. There's no question. There's no question that is their money-making event. So I think they're going to do everything they can to do something. And with it being the 30th anniversary, it kind of sucks in a way because we were expecting this big, huge year, HHN 30, and then coronavirus.
It's terrible.
Do
you usually take the family to Mickey's Not So Scary, whether it be paying or through the media or to Christmas?
I would, and I've said this before, and I stand the Halloween Mickey's Not So Scary is a far better value than Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party. So if we have the money, I will gladly take my kids to Mickey's Not So Scary over the Christmas party. Any
I'm
day.
glad you say that because I prefer Christmas, and I hope everyone stays away while I'm there. No, I don't know. There's something. The Christmas to me is just more magical. I love the Halloween thing.
I agree. It's Christmas. It's
The hot
Christmas.
cocoa
Yeah.
and the lighting, but I agree. There's something about the whole boo to you and the candy and the characters dressed as other characters.
Yeah, there's just something about. I mean, and this isn't coming from obviously my shirt. That's obsessed with Halloween. I've always found the not so scary Halloween party to be a better value with the parade, the stage show, the fireworks, the candy.
I agree with you 100%. This is my friend Brandon who says nobody wants to see a 6'6", 280-pound grown man going through a haunted house. That said, I'll go if John accompanies me. This is proof. We will go if there is. I will ask Clint to go with us.
Let's
so
go.
You should go with us because Brandon is a
game.
lot of fun. But if Brandon is going to scream like a girl, that would be pretty cool also.
That makes it all the better. I'm boring going through the haunted houses. You don't want to go through with me. I've been going since Halloween Horror Nights 4. So this stuff is like walking through the park to me. I'm the most boring person to go with to Halloween Horror Nights. So if you want a fun time, do not go with me.
Okay, Dan, you're in. I'll let you know when we're going.
We'll go. I'm game. It's Halloween Horror Nights.
Can I make another confession for real?
Sure.
In Halloween Horror Nights, I'm not Panda-ish. I curse so bad, and it's autonomous that I have to tell them off in the worst, horrible cursing way. So, do you remember the Halloween thing where they just came out, trick or treat, but it's really loud?
The trick or treat house, yeah.
So my response is trick or treat your mother. And I'm like, where does this come from? So if anybody films me in there, they're going to just destroy my whole career because I'm a horrible, and I come out just cursing people. It's horrible.
Halloween Horror
But
Nights
I love it.
brings out the best in us.
Yeah, I don't go to hit them or anything. I'm not violent. I just need to let them know how I feel
You're
bad.
just sharing your emotions.
Sharing my emotions. And I'm laughing while I'm doing it. But I know some of the people, they must be like, really, dude, calm down.
Yeah.
Like,
That's the best thing to do is to go through with a big group of your close friends and just have a good time because it's so much fun.
do you remember the carnival one? Was it not last year? It was the year before. There was a carnival one. You went through this huge, like, weird.
Was it 25?
Junkyard carnival?
The Carnival of Carnage.
Yes,
Yeah.
it was over where Fallon is.
Yeah, it was in the soundstage back there. Yep.
Remember,
that was a good house.
you could press buttons that would squirt other people, and it was a big house. There was a lot of stuff going on in there, and it was so varied. I thought it was pretty awesome, that house.
They had the tunnel of love with the couple kissing with like the skin face masks or whatever.
Yes, it was crazy.
It's so great.
So if they do it this year in small groups, I'd be happy. I'd even be willing to pay a little bit more for the ticket because I know they can't, the capacity has to be limited.
Yeah, we're obviously going to get, if it does happen, we're obviously going to get some sort of modified event. We're going to see probably changes with the scare zones, with the scare actors probably being, we've seen it at Universal, in Marvel Superhero Island. The characters are up on platforms away from guests. So obviously we're going to see some sort of modified event. I've heard everything from plexiglass being installed in the haunted houses between guests and the scare actors.
Yeah.
I try to keep up on the rumors and I try to separate, what I think could be plausible, and I believe that could be possible. But as far as tickets go, everybody wants to know because all of us hardcore Halloween Horror Nights fans, we get our frequent fear pass, which is depending on what you get almost every night. So there's debate whether that's going to be a thing or it's going to be kind of like what we're seeing with Disney World. There's only going to be reservation time slots. It's all up in the air. Universal hasn't come out and said anything at this point. So,
yeah, somebody's asking, Brandon again, any cool HHN themes this year? They haven't confirmed anything, but I think we've all heard possibly Beetlejuice. Again, this is all rumor, speculation. But have you heard the Beetlejuice rumor?
Yeah, I heard the Beetlejuice rumor, and then obviously the other big rumor was the Terror Queen coming back because.
What was that? That's before I went.
You think I would know this, but back when she was back when she was the icon, back when it was at Islands of Adventure. She said she would be back in X amount of years, and that year is this year. So everybody was wondering if the Terror Queen was going to come back as the icon this year.
I know Jack and Chance. Who's the Terror Queen?
She was, back when it was at Islands of Adventure, she was the chick that came out on the motorcycle. She had the big horned, like, headdress almost.
Oh.
And her scare zone was in the port of entry. It was really cool. They had this whole stage show that happened. She came out on, like, this big Harley motorcycle, and she drove it up on the stage, and they did, like, this whole skit. You can find it on YouTube. It was really cool.
And yes, Mary, HHN is usually very
Yeah.
busy.
Especially the last couple of years with Stranger Things.
The Stranger Things, yeah.
Like I said, I've been going to Halloween Horror Nights since number 4, and I've never seen the crowds I've seen these last 2, 3, maybe 4 years, especially since they've introduced Stranger Things. That brought in a whole nother demographic to this event. You know, the teenagers, and I've never seen the crowds. I mean, you used to be able to, you know, like I said, if you had your frequent fear pass, there were a few days throughout September, October where it would be dead, and you're like, okay, I'm going to go on that day.
Like Wednesday or Thursday night if they had it during the frequent fear, it was great, yeah.
Exactly. But not these last couple years, especially with Stranger Things, and you could tell it just bought in the crowds.
There wasn't a time they had it at both parks, right, Clint?
Correct. I actually worked one of the years they had it in both parks. I think it was...
Were you a scare actor?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I did it for a couple years. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Do you remember any of the stuff you did? Like, what was a good character you might have done?
I think that year when I was in Islands of Adventure, I was in the haunted house that was inside Poseidon's Fury. It was called Terror Mines, and everybody got this helmet with a little flashlight on it, and they made the haunted house really dark, so all your light was this little the helmets with like the mining hats almost. And I was I was like in the second to last room, I think. And I had like this little chamber that I would come out and jump out and scare people. That was really fun. And before that I was what they call a I can't remember what it was called, but it's active backup. And they would basically tell you, like, you would show up to work that afternoon, and you would say, okay, they would say, okay, you're going to be this person in this haunted house. Here's your costume. Go. You were basically a filler, and then you eventually got a permanent spot.
Did you enjoy it, or were you exhausted, or both?
Oh, both.
At the end of the night, you were dead.
At the end of the night, come 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, you're dead beat. But it's so worth it. You know, the people you get to meet being a scare actor. You know, it's like a tight knit community. You know, everybody's really cool, and you know, the few years that I did it, I don't regret doing it. It's fun, but it's a lot of work.
Stan's question, I'd be curious to get your take on it. I say money, but what is your take on that?
Do you think, or what would it take for Universal to give up the Marvel Parks license to Disney? That's been an ongoing saga, obviously, ever since Disney's bought Marvel. I kind of agree with John. I think it's a dollar amount, and I think Universal knows that, and so I
don't think any of them are in a position right now. I mean, they needed the money, and I don't know if Disney's got so much extra money on them right now.
Yeah, they're hurting right now. But no, the whole and Universal doesn't have to give up the Marvel rights, but it's gotten a little more interesting since Disney has bought Marvel, in the respect that I think anything Universal does, they have to get approval from Disney. I believe that's how it goes, because when they redid the Hulk, when they completely tore down the Hulk coaster, I heard that they actually had to get approval for that from Disney. And then there was that rumor of it's
such a weird relationship.
It is,
especially with the Fox stuff. Like somebody was saying, what about
Simpsons now? Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yep. You got the Simpsons now, and Universal's got that whole area. And I was just like, It's interesting with the whole Marvel thing.
Have you been to Paris?
I have not. No.
Me neither. I was wondering if you've done the whole Ratatouille thing at all. I know it's not going to be the most, e-ticket attraction ever, but I'm kind of excited. Did you go with us when we did it in Epcot? Did you get that little preview of it?
I didn't get to go to that. Barry went to that, and I showed
Okay.
up later for whatever festivities were in the evening. He did the hard hat tour for the Ratatouille thing, so he got to see that.
I would say it was 80% complete when we did that. I don't even remember when that was. Was it November or something? It was 80% complete. So I know that's not going anywhere. I wonder if Mary Poppins is put on hold. Remember all the talk about a possible Brazil pavilion?
Yeah.
I wonder what we're not going to get.
I
Might have.
I've seen a lot of people do articles and videos of what's not going to happen, what's going to happen. Obviously, with this coronavirus, Disney has lost a lot of money.
You know what I think people don't realize too, because people always say, "Oh, but Disney has a lot of money." It's not that they lost money because of the coronavirus. They didn't plan for not making any for this stretch of time. So it's a double whammy.
Yeah.
It's not that you're just losing money, you're also the income has just poof.
Well, some of the stuff that they're planning for, they don't now have the money for that, because obviously when businesses do something, they set money aside for it. So the Tron, the Ratatouille thing, all that money for those projects were obviously it was already funded. I mean, the construction stopped, but that was because of contractor issues.
Right. Which even further amazes me that they at least even mentioned, hey, we're going to do this big, huge overhaul of Splash. I think that, says a lot.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. Somebody's saying Star Wars Resort, see ya. I still think it'll come, but I think it'll be very postponed.
I think it'll be postponed, and it may be not what I think originally was planned. I think Disney had I think there was high expectations for that things, and who knows? I unfortunately I don't have the paperwork here in front of me.
Yeah, no, we don't know. We're just, but I remember. I mean,
interesting.
most of the building, the physical structure, was complete.
Yeah,
so
they were done with the building, and then it just kind of sat there. So I don't know. I know construction has picked back up on Tron, and obviously the painting of the castle, and like you said, Ratatouille was done, and then we've got the Guardians coaster over at Epcot, which is all indoors, so we can't really see what's going on there. But
Melissa says they're still actively working on the Star Wars Resort. She drove by it the other day.
Good.
That's I'm pretty happy with that.
Yeah, because that looked really cool. The whole what was it, Star Cruiser?
Yeah,
that thing looks insane.
But like you said, they may pull things back if they realize that the people spending the money to go are also not as financially secure as they once were.
Because let's
We're
face
all
it,
feeling it.
This Star Wars thing was not going to be cheap.
No, it was one of those things where if you and I didn't get a media pass, we'd be a little scared of
seen it.
maybe never see it. And I don't know about you, but I'm feeling financially not as secure as I used to.
Yeah,
And,
it's a scary situation for everybody right now. It's it's scary.
Brandon still can't get over my Tron. What I didn't say watch Tron. He's gonna go cry in the shower now. Brandon, you go cry, because Tron to me, I don't know. It's a bunch of people with like discs on their head running around, and I don't understand it. I don't get it. Tron is not my thing. But Brandon, we have so many other things in common.
Yeah, the original Tron it's one of those cult classics. It's like Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Yes.
It's one of those movies where if it doesn't hit you in just the right way, you kind of have to take it at face value, and like I tried to show my oldest Jordan, I tried to show him the original Tron, and he was like, what the heck is this? But if you sit him down in front of Tron Legacy, he'll watch the whole thing.
Okay, I did not see Legacy, so if I don't like the others, you could say still go see Legacy?
Legacy's a fun movie. It's
okay.
They did a good job with the special effects, and it's a fun popcorn flick. If you're bored one night on Disney Plus, and I loved it. I saw it in the movie. It was a cool movie. But Legacy's definitely if Tron isn't your thing, Legacy's definitely a quick evening popcorn flick.
Okay, yeah, I didn't see it in the theater, so I'm gonna do Legacy, and I'll get back to you, Brandon, on Legacy. Okay. Brandon says Legacy is actually more fun. Before I let
It's
Clint
fun.
go and find out where we can follow him and everything, do we have questions for him or questions for me and him? You know, again, we're not the gods of Universal, Disney, and theme parks, although I think he knows a lot about other theme parks also. But
Yeah.
it's
Any
if you wanna
questions?
get-
Let me know.
Yeah, start us off on a conversation. In the meantime, while we're waiting for that, Clint, what are all the ways that we can follow you on social media?
Everything is.
And tell us
ThrillGeek.
about the podcast.
Yeah. We try to do a podcast episode every week, Barry and myself, and like I was telling you before, we're trying to have more guests on because I think everybody got bored of just Barry and I, and occasionally we have Emily on, who's a writer for the website. We just get on and we chat about the happenings of theme park, and Barry's more into the pop culture side of things, so he'll bring in some pop culture movie stuff, movie news, TV show news. So we try to do that every week, and it's the ThrillGeek podcast. You can find it on all of the podcast apps, Spotify, Apple. We're on them all. And then obviously everything else is ThrillGeek, ThrillGeek.com. Facebook is ThrillGeek, Facebook.com/ThrillGeek. Twitter's ThrillGeek. YouTube is ThrillGeek, YouTube.com/ThrillGeek. I think the only thing that I wasn't able to get the word ThrillGeek was we actually have a Pinterest page. Which actually surprisingly we get probably 60 to 80,000 views from the website, because I have it to where we post an article and it goes right to Pinterest. It's the coolest thing.
Megan, who's in here, has been telling me to use Pinterest to send people to YouTube, and I'm like, I'm too old to learn new things, but apparently I should. It kind of works.
It's really bizarre because it's our Pinterest is thrill_geek. And I have it to where anytime we post an article on the website, it pushes automatically. I don't have to do anything. It goes right to Pinterest. And we actually get a lot of traffic from Pinterest. It's so bizarre. I was like
cool.
you. I was like, Pinterest?
I know.
Pinterest isn't going to do anything for us. And I went ahead and I created it, and I linked our blog, the site, to it, and we actually surprisingly do pretty well as far as just generating website traffic from it. So
All
everything's
right. I've got the
ThrillGeek.
account, so I'm going to try. Everything's ThrillGeek.
Yep, and except Pinterest, it's thrill_geek.
Why? What? You couldn't get ThrillGeek on Pinterest, or you have
ThrillGeek ThrillGeek was taken. I don't know who has it.
we have to call them and tell them.
Yeah. Excuse
So
me.
Megan says, do you think the spike in cases will impact Disney's staying open? I'm going to give you my answer first, then I want yours.
Sure.
I thought so maybe a week or so ago, but I think the trains left the station at this point, and unless something huge happens, I think July 11th is a go.
Yeah, no.
What do you think?
I completely agree with you. We're full steam ahead. I don't think, I think if Disney would have pulled back the reins, I think that would look worse for them than not opening, because there's some people that are like, oh, theme parks aren't essential. But I have a feeling that there are people that actually are planning to come down, whether it's driving. Obviously, I don't think a lot of people want to fly. Flying is kind of one of those weird things right now. But I have no doubt that people, are planning at least driving trips down here. So no, I don't think Disney World is going to postpone their opening. I think Tokyo Disney's opening up right now as we speak.
Right.
So no, I don't see it going anywhere. I think we're good to go. Cast member previews go live tomorrow. Pass holder previews filled up. So
They filled up in 47 minutes.
Yeah, did you get in?
I didn't
No?
even get the email. So
There were
I
a
think,
lot of people having issues with that.
yeah, if you have cast member friends, try to get in that way. That's probably what I'm going to hope for at this point.
Yeah.
Adam, my cast member friend, is asking me about Six Flags. Are they implementing a reservation system for Six Flags?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's a big deal.
I was actually, I think Six Flags was one of the first. They were the first national theme park. You got Cedar Fair, who does the Kings Island and the Cedar Point. I think they were the first to kind of lay their reopening plans out. And let's face it, Six Flags doesn't have the best reputation as far as cleanliness and that sort of thing. So I wasn't expecting. I don't know what I was expecting with Six Flags to reopen, but when I got the press release and I started kind of going over it, they had this really nice, really well-produced video, and I was like, this is Six Flags? I was really surprised, and I was very what's the word I'm looking for? Very pleased with what Six Flags, and apparently it's going really well for them.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
You're going to laugh at this. Disney should just put up a massive sign outside that says, if you get COVID, it's not our fault. Technically, they did.
They do,
actually,
yeah.
They do have
There's signs
a statement,
everywhere.
that says, if you get it,
I think Universal
the disclaimer.
Universal has it too. Like it's almost like a giant one of those A-frame signs on the floor, like basically saying, if you enter our parks, we are not responsible. So in a way, they kind of do have that.
All right, guys. I think we're going to call it a night. It's an hour already. My gosh.
Is it?
Yeah,
Oh, wow, it
it's
is.
pretty cool. Thank you
Yeah.
very much for
Sure.
coming. I hope Barry knows he was welcome, so I hope
Yeah.
he comes again if we do this again.
Definitely.
Guys, thank you so much. I don't know what else. I'm just trying to think if there's anything huge this week that I'm failing to talk about. Is there any huge current event that we failed about?
We touched about Splash Mountain. I can't think of anything else really that. And we touched on the Broadway and the Cirque and all that stuff. I think we kind of skimmed over everything pretty good.
Awesome.
Cool.
Thank you, Matt and Jason, for saying you had fun. Please make sure you go film. Wow. Please make sure you go follow Clint
Please
Gamache.
don't film me.
Don't film him. And Barry on ThrillGeek. Remember, Tuesday, 8 p.m. we have another show here. And if you're not part of my Facebook group, please go to bigfatpandemonium.com, and that'll just connect you right to the Facebook group. Yeah, thanks again. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. And Clint, I will talk to you soon. Please give the wife a hug for me. Tell her I have mucho respect for her keeping the magic alive. And
I definitely will.
awesome. I'm going to let you go, and I will talk to you soon, sir.
Bye, guys. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. All right, guys, go forth. Create pandemonium. Keep giving out panda hugs, even though we kind of can't. Very special thanks to David and Kim Picciano from Now That's Disney, Stan Solo from the Grand Circle Tour podcast, a whole bunch of my friends that are here. Is the Robe still here? His brother is Al Corey. He's got Your Pal Al YouTube that you really have to check out. Poor guy does some great stuff, and he's struggling over there because he doesn't get the right people. He needs to find people. Virtual panda hugs to everyone. Melissa, good night. Marla, love you guys. Mwah. Thank you, everyone. Really, have a wonderful night. I'll see you soon. I'm on this YouTube this way too much. I'm always on something.